Just with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bad body. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
What's going on, people?
Welcome, Ricco. All right, I'm here as my alter ego, Sheikh Rah bin Hokum bin Walid bin Riyadh. In disguise, no one's guessed who I am yet. So, evil Minister Jafar, take that. Aladdin is still getting the princess. You know how it goes down. Anyway,
Okay.
Ricco, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. You always say such crazy shit. Oh, excuse me. Welcome to the R&R Hour. We have Rah, obviously in his attire, just after the press conference. Exciting times, Rah. How was it?
How you doing
on the ground?
Yeah, I mean it was great. Just gearing up for fight night now. I guess this close to the fight, press conferences, the fighters don't really want to do much to it. But yeah, I think it's going to be a banger of a show. All 5 fights are awesome. My mate Will Jones is in the corner of Malik Zinad. Mission impossible, but someone's got to do it against Bivol, and who knows? Who knows?
You don't know.
Nothing's impossible in this game.
There's no way in hell that happens, Rah. There's not a chance that ever going to happen. There's just no way. We're going to go through the card, summary of each fight, and then obviously predictions. First fight on the bill, we have...
I think it's Craig
Ford.
I have. Oh, okay. Colby Ford. Battle of the Midgets. Yeah, banger of a fight. Absolute banger.
I've got Nick Ford by KO.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, listening to a lot of the analysis, a lot of the views of the fans online, most people point to Ford's technical ability. No doubt he is a seriously skilled operator. Comes from that US sort of amateur system. Was on the Olympic team with guys like Shakur. But he looks like he's dying on the scales. And I don't know if you saw the press conference up there. He barely wanted to speak. And after the Kolmatov fight, he said that's his last fight. At featherweight, he's got to move up. But I think he might have made the same mistake Joe Cordina made 2 weeks ago, in that he decided to have one more fight for the payday. Yeah, and that one last weight cut is one weight cut too many. And against someone like Nick Paul, Nick, he's, not only can he punch, Bull's punching power carries late into the fight. So I think that could be telling. And like myself, that's why I do tip Ford to maybe get to him late, just through the exhaustion that he's going to put in.
To be honest, I think Nick Paul should be a champ. I think that he was screwed the last time he was there, but Nick Paul is sensationally good at getting inside, cutting up the distance, getting inside the pocket, and just landing, just hooks, just to the temple. And he has like 5'2", and he's just like a little walking the dynamite, bro. Like I really rate Nick Paul, and I think that he will be Ray Ford. Going obviously on to the next fight, we have Craig Richardson versus Hutchinson. I don't think we need to go into
that altercation that started
we need to go into
a civil war online, but I mean, Craig, I don't know about you, I think Craig's a seriously skilled operator as well. I really rate him. Look at the level that he's fought at. Bivol, Boatsy, run them both pretty close. Willie, his first step up for a title, got knocked out. He's been rebuilt back, but that don't bode well, does it? And I've seen a couple of his fights on the comeback trail. They're those sort of hand-picked European level guys that have a good record, but you look at who they fought, they're like all in their own country, and the guys they've lost to aren't exactly sort of doesn't really give you much confidence. So, and I think Craig now with Shane McGuigan, he'll be coming on no end as a fighter, and I think what Craig said, I punch harder than Lennox Clark. That's I think that could be a poignant on the night. I got Craig in that, probably 6 to 8 rounds.
Yeah, I got Craig by KO as well. I think Craig definitely has, that fire in him after all of the controversy. Like I said, we won't go into it, but yeah, definitely got the fire in his belly. Hutchinson, I think I've not really seen anything in his arsenal where I can confidently say like, okay, like he does this better than Craig. Yeah, I think Craig has had a couple of unfortunate, well, I say unfortunate losses, but he did really well against Bivol. He actually came to win that fight. Yeah, I have Craig by KO. Definitely, that's one Matchroom fight where I'm just like, yeah, I think I can decisively say the winner.
That'd make it 1-1 after 2 fights. 1-1 after 2 fights, wouldn't it?
Indeedy. Then we have.
Sorry, I'm just.
Then we have Shiraz Williams. I think this might be fight of the night contender, to be honest with you. I think I've been a massive Ammo Williams fan. I think Shiraz is, obviously I'm backing the Brett 1,000,000%, my guy from Slough. So, but Hamza is massive for 160 pounds. I think he'll go up to 168 quite soon. But he does look like comfortable making the weight. It's weird. But yeah, no, I definitely have Hamza in this one, even though I do rate Ammo. A little bit weird Ammo. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the war in America at the minute. Everyone's just losing their minds. But yeah, I definitely have Hamza in this, and I do have Hamza winning by KO as well. I think
Really?
it will be fought. Yeah, definitely. I think Hamza just wants to do a job on him. I think Hamza, like, he doesn't take his personality seriously, but I think he takes his boxing skills seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, this is probably the most 50-50 fight on the card. I think both of these fighters, they need this fight before they go on to World Honours, which is what they're targeting. So in that sense, I think it's a well worthy of being a WBC final eliminator. Make no mistake, Adames is a step up again. Just because Brits haven't heard of him, make no mistake, he's genuinely world level. So both these guys need it, and there's all the talk of they're both going to find out a lot about themselves. They both are going to find out, including the winner, whether they've got what it takes to deal with an Adames, a Janibek, because as prospects and contenders, they've had pretty much everything their own way in their careers so far. This is the first time they're going to be coming up against someone who wants to win as much as them, can hit as hard as them. So I actually see probably both fighters getting hurt. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see both men hit the deck in this fight. I see him, probably both. Whoever wins is the one who's going to be able to get through the crisis best. Although I am a bit biased to Hamza, obviously he's our local boy, I do think a significant factor for Hamza is that through his career he's been steady. Ammo, he's had his ins and outs. Hamza, he got out of his comfort zone, went over to California. By his own admission, when he arrived in California, all of those Latino fighters were queuing up to try and knock him out. So I think experiences like that will have forged a lot of the mental strength he will need to get through this. So, yeah, I think both guys will probably hit the deck, probably get hurt. But I think after weathering some early storms, I think Hamza will get behind his jab, and box his way to a decision.
Fair play. I don't know. I just see that momentum from the Williams fight coming through. Hamza just seems so confident, and it's like a almost sharp, decisive confidence. Whereas I am a big fan of Ammo
I
and
get you.
his boxing skills. I think he's quite slick, but I just think that Hamza's counterpunching, will again be essential. But I do see the KO, and I'm going to go for Hamza KO. 4 points to Frankie.
All right.
Next
Okay. So,
on the bill, one of my personal favorites, obviously, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
The man that should be undisputed heavyweight champ, according to you.
Well, you said it, not me. But if the shoe fits, Daniel, obviously, this is the biggest step up since Alexander Usyk. But again, I think he's had a great mental bounce back. I think him and Dubois, him and Philip obviously have that history with sparring. I think Philip, he kind of embarrassed Dubois, but Dubois was like, what did he say? By any means necessary. I genuinely didn't think that he had it in him, and I'm so goddamn proud. So I'm gonna go Daniel Dynamite Dubois KO. Would probably say in the eighth or ninth round. I'm going Dubois KO 8th or 9th.
See, my concern for Daniel in this is that Hrgovic's chin. I'm still in awe of it. I know a lot of you guys don't think much of it, but he ate Zhang's left hand repeatedly, and I'm sure he was smiling back at him. So it'll take some knocking out. That's my concern for him. I spoke to Don Charles at the launch event, as you did, and I did bring that up with him. He said he's under no illusions as to how tough Hrgovic is. So Don will make sure he's got plan B, plan C, etc. But Hrgovic, because he hasn't looked impressive in his last couple of fights, maybe people are underestimating his boxing ability. And if Daniel can't put a serious dent in him, I think his boxing ability will see him through this. That's my concern, and I'm still a bit puzzled as to what the decision behind him winning this fight at this point is. Because at 26, he's got plenty of time. I thought he could do with a couple of more contenders, just gradually build up to it. Again, because Hrgovic has got that chin and that boxing ability, I just thought at this point might not have been the right opponent, but fair play to him. I don't know what Frank's line of thinking is. Is he fed up and just is he now telling Daniel basically sink or swim time? Or is it just the fact that Hrgovic has looked so flat recently that they think, yeah, actually, he ain't nothing special. You can take him. But I'm inclined to go for Hrgovic to box his way to a decision.
I think
Probably a dull decision.
I think it's a combination of all of them. I think, Daniel, the thing is, Daniel's really young, and because he's been in the game like 5-6 years at kind of worldish level, we take for granted that the kid's obviously been learning as well. So, yeah, I definitely have Daniel in this. Philip has looked flat. I think his actually needs to bring the GOAT Jerry Forrest, man. I think Jerry Forrest needs to be involved in all of these fights. Big up to Jerry Forrest, by the way. He's one of the GOATs. I'll die on that hill. Shout out to Jerry. Gave Zhang his hardest fight, so yeah, it's completely irrelevant. But I just wanted to plug Jerry Forrest in that. But yeah, no. I think Daniel. I don't know, because Philip hasn't looked that great to me. Like he's supposed to have been like the boogeyman type of thing, but I think he's had kind of obviously an unfortunate circumstance and a start-stop career. Yeah. I was gonna pick Daniel anyway, but just looking at kind of how everything is, I'm backing him 1 million more %.
All right. So you think Daniel by knockout?
That's it.
Okay.
And then we have the main event, the creme de la creme, Bang Zhang versus Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Again, I've got Zhang by KO, probably in the 6th round, or within 6 rounds. I think Zhang will have just enough juice to kind of, and I rate Wilder's chin and heart, but I think sustained punishment and just how he's been beaten by the likes of Fury and Parker. I think a mesh of those two game plans. Yeah, I
You know
I
what?
like Deontay, man,
I'm
and I
probably,
like Deontay. Big up Deontay, bro. Like I actually hope he does win because I want to see him AJ. But yeah,
I must be a lone voice in this. I did not interpret Deontay's performance against Parker as indicative that he's shot. I didn't think he was shot. I thought
no,
his
like it's
timing was
just
off,
more a
and
skill
he's
thing. That's
diminished.
for me.
Yeah, there's a skill thing. There's no doubt. Parker, his boxing fundamentals are that much better, and he stuck to his game plan. Didn't lose concentration. But people go on about Wilder. Look how skinny his legs look. The guy's always been skinny. That's his frame. And I think most importantly, when Parker caught him, he was never in serious trouble. So to me, that I don't think he's shot. He's still got some punch resistance. He's still got a bit of movement. He lasted the 12 rounds without problems. Put it this way, you don't ever see Deontay gassing out after 6 rounds the way Zhang does. So his gas tank is still there. Is his timing slower? Well, at nearly 40, of course, he's going to have missed half a step. But that won't matter against Zhang, who's 41 and was slow even in his prime. So I don't interpret Wilder as being shot. I think that those 12 rounds in December might have helped get him back a bit of sharpness. With Zhang and his suspect gas tank, I do think if Deontay can get through the first 6 rounds, we do know Deontay's punching power carries to the end of the fight. So I think that Deontay will ride out the early storm, and he will land his own equalizer late on. So I'm going for Deontay Wilder 10th round knockout.
Fair play. I hope it happens, man. I hope we get AJ Wilder. Definitely. Is like I said, contrary to popular belief, I actually really like Wilder. I just think if he guided himself just a little bit, especially in the footwork department, he could have been there, man. But anyway, I digress. We're gonna call people to come through if we get the link in the comments. Guys, give us your predictions.
Yes, indeed. Viewers, get involved. I need to sit. Dan, why didn't you tell me my clip here was a bit crooked? There you go. That's how it's meant to look. See, the security guard was trying to attract my attention to correct it, but too engrossed in analysing these behemoths. All right, viewers, feel free to join in. Tell me and Ricco we don't know what we're talking about. Tell them that my outfit ain't on point, even though that's impossible. And let's chop it up. We've got about half hour before security starts moving me on, even though it is the weekend here, Thursday night. So, and poor me didn't get my slushy.
You're in actual disguise, isn't it? Like you're there. Like you look like you should be in a Bond movie.
This is actually a disguise. So
you look like that guy from The Matrix.
People are still recognizing me.
But no, man, I really do see a shout out for Uncle Frank. I think Uncle Frank is definitely going to take the trophy on this one.
A shut out. What?
Yeah.
So most 56% of viewers are saying they think Matchroom. Okay, interesting. All right.
I don't know.
I guess the fights most likely to get the knockout will be the two heavyweight fights. So if you think the Matchroom guys will get that,
Oh yeah,
give them extra points.
Daniel's definitely Daniel. You know what? I'm so impressed with Daniel. I'm so happy. Daniel, he's evolved. Like a Pokemon back in the day. Like you know what I mean? Like he's got his chick, like his girlfriend there. He's just been training under the tutelage of Don Charles. Don Charles has been tutelaging him. So nah, man, I'm all for this transformation, right? I think he's out here wanting to be guys' daddies, bro. So fuck it, man. Big up Dynamite Dubois. Sensational.
Big up, viewers. We got anyone wanting to come in? While we're waiting, incidentally, we didn't talk about the aborted main event. Better BF, you know how unsympathetic I am. I want a lot of these aging fighters to retire, and this is exactly the sort of thing. Yeah, Better BF 40 can't get through a training camp without getting hurt. So I do hope if we get, I think we'll probably get Better BF Bivol on the Fury Usyk 2 undercard now, December. And
That'd be amazing,
in actual
man.
fact, I would like 3 out of those 4 fighters to retire after that. So basically, only Bivol should carry on fighting. The rest of them, they're too injury prone. They're older. They need so much recovery. They're just holding everything up. Great fighters that Fury Usyk and Better BF have been, but with His Excellency putting up the money to get the biggest and best fights, I really do think that these aging fighters, come on, get your pension scheme, get your final pension pot, and then move on. Let the youngsters duke it out. Am I being too harsh?
Well, the thing is, I mean, not too harsh, but the guy, he's old, bro. Like he's gonna get injured doing shit that he wasn't getting injured before in his youth, and it's just unfortunate.
Exactly. Which is why I want him to call it a day and retire.
I think a lot of fighters should do that though. Like Canelo, I think Canelo should make his way out of there. I think Beterbiev, just the ones where it's just you've done enough type of thing. But I don't think Beterbiev beats Bivol. I'll be real. I've said it.
No, I mean I had Bivol as the winner of that. This guy Malik Zinad, my mate Will Jones, has found himself as coach for Malik at short notice. He jumped at the chance, but he knows what this is. It'll be a miracle. But hey, listen,
it's never going to happen. I'm sorry, I think he's a nice guy. All that stuff, but sorry, buddy.
Even speaking to Will, reading between the lines, he knows
it would
if he
take
can just
for
put on
his
a
water to be
good
spiked.
showing.
It would take for an egg weight to be in his glove for him to win. Honestly, we haven't got anybody jumping on.
We're doing a boxing podcast, so we just got a few locals wanna.
Damn,
they're curious as to what we're doing. All right, Steve, it's weird when we talk to you. You're Steve. When you do your podcast, you're Neutral's Corner. Your alter ego. Yeah, you're not all smiling and happy when you're doing your podcast. So yeah, welcome.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Hello, Ricco, Sensei, sir.
What's going on, buddy?
You? And Rah,
I'm all good, bro. How are you?
Legend. Yeah, I'm brilliant, mate. I'm brilliant. Yes, Twitter is just the alternative world, isn't it? This is our alter egos. Yeah, Steve behind the scenes, neutral when
Steve,
I'm on the.
What do you think of this? The 5 fights. You clear about who's going to win?
Yes.
Go on, give us the Steve rundown.
The press conference was an eye opener. It really was from the opening bell. Uh, Obviously, if we take away Bevel first and just concentrate on the 5v5, we got Ball and Nick Ford on first. Raymond Ford very much surprised me at his press conference. I thought he was a bit cooler than that, but he's got that cold steel look and determination about him. He's a man of few words, and that's quite a scary prospect, I think, for young Nick Ball. As well as he done against Vargas, and yes, there's shouts of robbery and all the rest there, but he can't afford to let it go to the judges. So Nick Ball maybe put too much emphasis on the knockout, and that may be a problem to him, right? I don't know, but it's a hell of a fight to open up the 5v5, and I'm just looking forward to it.
Nick, of course, is your city, your local boy. I mean, I'd have thought you'd be a bit higher on him.
My heart says Nick. I've met him; he's a lovely guy. My heart says Nick. My head says Raymond Ford, because I just think he's got that more about him, technical wise, ring IQ. I hate going against Nick on this occasion, but I have to be neutral. I can't, afford to let associates and people get in the way. So I don't say it'd be a knockout, but I think it'd be a very, very close decision yet again for Nick, and he's going to feel the whole world's against him.
You don't think that Ford's clear struggles with the scales this time? Do you think that'll be a factor?
Well, there was chat about he looked drained, etc., etc. I don't know. He makes the weight comfortably any other time, unless he's had a bad camp, unless he's not been focused enough. It's hard to tell. But from that press conference, he's a man of few words. He didn't mince his words, and I thought it was very impressive with that alone. But you may have a point, and if that is the case, then Nick Ball should be looking at the long game rather than an early knockout.
Okay, we'll just go through the card anyway. We'll go Craig Richardson and Willie Hutchinson.
Craig, obviously an intriguing fight now, according to the last 24 hours on Twitter. But before the fight, this one for me. Craig has got too much high-level experience at the top. Willie Hutchinson's very well thought of, did quite well in his last fight against the unbeaten Belgian, I think it was. Can't remember his name now. It was on the last Riyadh card. So, before the Undisputed, of course. But, Craig Richards, he'll have far too much in his locker for Hutchinson. And he's got that added grit in his teeth now. There's a bit of personal needle between the two. If he loses his focus, then he may be playing into Hutchinson's hands. Who knows? But he's a very cool character, is Craig. For me, it takes a lot to wind him up, and obviously Hutchinson did. He's got, for me, that bit of extra zest in your blood when it comes to a fight like this, Ricco. I'm going to give the edge to my man, Craig.
And Shiraz and Williams.
Oh, what a fight. Probably the fight of the night, Ricco.
I said that as well. I said this could be a fight of the year contender, possibly.
Oh, yeah. But for me, fight of the night, as far as competitive levels are at, this is for the interim for the WBC belt. You've got ammo. Let's talk about Hamza Shiraz first. He's got, is it 13 knockouts from 16 wins? I don't know. It's something like that. Very, very impressive. He's knocked out his last 13 opponents. So, when you're taking information like that going forward into a fight like this, it's very, very impressive. But Ammo Williams is not your bog standard Hamza Shiraz opponent that he's had in the past. Very, very much a big step up for Hamza. So as much as his boxing technique, skills, power jabs and that, what's really unknown about Hamza is when he gets mixed in there with a hard hitting, this guy will take you to the, as I think, as I know that Eddie said, Ammo will take him to the trenches. I said on Twitter, Ammo Williams is that kind of personality that he reminds me of Chris Eubanks Sr., or the American version of him. Very self-confident. He struts around the ring, as you saw in his workout yesterday, and then explodes into cat-like shadow boxing. You know, he's got that just that very strange, click to his personality that I found very intriguing. And he's full of self-determination. And if you look at that press conference, I think Deontay Wilder was feeding off Ammo Williams's confidence, because, he was like poking him on the arm and going, ah. And then himself steps into his own, shouts and that. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And so I think Shiraz will come up against a very, very determined Ammo Williams. And I just think that Ammo's overall experience will be a telling factor. And I think he'll nick it just on a split decision.
Fair enough. Big up, Jams. Obviously, we have you all go through your
Big up, Jams.
Steve.
Thanks for joining. Apologies for that.
Daniel Dubois and Philip Hrgović. Steve.
Daniel Dubois, Philip Hrgović. Now, all of Britain's hopes go on to Daniel Dubois for tomorrow night. Probably the bigger name of all the British contenders, and he's up against the big man Philip Hrgović, knockout merchant. Daniel Dubois has got many knockouts to his name. Daniel Dubois up against Usyk was, hashtag justice for Dubois. My good friend Ricco
hashtag justice for Dubois.
I would say, but with much love and respect on this occasion, I have to disagree. He failed to show. He lacked finishing. He lacked that hunger to finish a guy in the ring. Now, I'm just worried a wee bit for Daniel when he's under pressure. Now, he's took the knee before. I don't want to see it again. If he comes under pressure for Philip Hrgović, no excuses. If you're going to go out guns blazing, But
guys,
I think on this occasion he's just too strong.
Guys, can I ask what you think about Daniel? In terms of a lot is made of so-called mental weakness, but maybe the missing ingredient all along was just his dad, because for that Baby Miller fight, was it quite famously he was looking a bit precarious after 4 rounds, and then Frank Warren said get his dad to sit in the corner, and then in the post-fight interview he even essentially said that. He said, "Oh, when I heard my dad say, start telling me off, I knew I got to go to work." So, hey, if that's what it takes, maybe it was something as simple as that. I'll give one thing about Daniel. You look at him; he doesn't dwell on his defeats. Like, say someone like AJ loses and then has a sulk for 2 years. Daniel, straight fight, next fight back, he's like, the last fight was a learning experience. I'll go again. He doesn't dwell on it. So I wonder if it might. I mean, let's be real. He was quite a childish 21-year-old, weren't he? I mean, it weren't until in the last year that he's starting to sort of look and speak maturely. So maybe it was something as simple as that he was just boyish up until a year ago.
I don't know. He he seems to me like a guy that appreciates silence, before this transformation that he's had, and like you just said, Don Charles and his dad, obviously we both interviewed him, and he said that his dad has been tutoring him and stuff or whatever. So whatever that shit is, I don't care what it is, it's working. Okay, so take it all the way to the Hrgović fight and win by KO, like I know that he will. And yeah, sensational stuff. Wilder and the Bang Zang, Steve, and then we'll go to Jams finally. And
Wilder, Bomb Squad, Knockout 6, looked fantastic at the press conference, fired up. Good things he said, very impressed. Big Bang Zhang, he's a nice guy, lovely guy, doesn't say a bad word about anything. But for me, he's too accommodating, and I just think he's not quick enough in the ring to exert his will on Wilder. For me, although he lost to Parker, but he was very impressive in his gas tank going that 12 rounds with Parker. So for me, I've got Wilder. I'm very confident. I'm picking Deontay Wilder for a knockout between round 1 and 6. I just think he's got the bit between his teeth, and it's good to see him back. Because he is much loved and much needed in world heavyweight boxing,
especially for the States.
Jams, big up, bro. Obviously we'll go with all of your predictions.
Yeah, I'll make them quick.
Starting with Nick Ball and yeah, go on, bro.
Yeah, Nick Ball against Ray Ford. Ray Ford, I love Nick Ball, but Ray Ford is just too skillful, too slick. He's going to absolutely outbox him to a masterclass unanimous decision victory. Spider against Hutchinson. I've been backing Hutchinson the whole time, but I've changed my mind on this one. I'm going to go Spider now, and I'm going to go by knockout around round 8. For the Shiraz against Ammo, I think Shiraz is going to shock the world, mate. I think he's going to come out and blow Ammo Williams out of there within 3 rounds. DD. I know, mate. I'm a brave man. I stand on my sword, brother. Trust me.
I like it, mate. I like it.
Triple D against Hrgović. Hrgović ain't getting stopped, unfortunately. Triple D is not going to get that knockout. Hrgović has never even been hurt, never mind knocked out. And he schooled him in sparring multiple times, which Daniel did.
Hrgović definitely been hurt.
Although that doesn't mean anything because it's sparring, but he could have the edge over him. But I'm still going to go for a Triple D win on points. I'm still going to think our man's going to do it. Like Ricco said, back the Brits, brother. So I'm going for that. And then in the main event, well, the co-main, I'm going to go for a Wilder win by knockout, as Neutral said, within 6. And is it worth giving you the Bivol Zinad one? I don't think it is. We all know Bivol's going to.
Nah. We're pleading the 5th on that one. I think I've already wished Rah well. He's got personal investment in there, but we're not. We're just we're just not going to do that. But no, thank you guys for obviously tuning in.
Thanks for joining. I have got to get going. I keep pushing the patience with the security here, so I will hopefully catch up with you guys soon. Gents, always a pleasure. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Make it home safe. Don't do any crazy shit. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining in. It has been the R&R Hour. Got to shout out our sponsors, D-Rock Clothing. Please use promo code iBoxingHub 24 for 40% off your total purchase. We got the likes of Johnny Nelson, Joseph Parker, obviously Jams, who was just here. He copped a very lovely, yeah, there we go. Production always gets us there. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I will be at the 505 watch party. Please, guys, go check it out. It's going to be amazing. Myself, Shy, a plethora of special guests are going to be coming through. We're at the first venue that we were at, so special one, I think. But yes, if you haven't got a ticket and you're not watching the Champions League or whatever, please come check us out because it's going to be fucking amazing. But yeah, end of the episode. Please go check the content out at No Smoke Sport. I also have another show with Trill Dollar Bill, US to UK, from across the way. Shout out to my guys. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to everybody. Check out the schedule that we have for. I think there's a show like every single day now, so that's incredible. But yeah, God bless, and yeah, have an incredible evening.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a bike, but yeah. So, it's another